Once upon a time, in a peaceful village surrounded by lush green hills and golden fields, there lived an old farmer who had spent his entire life working the land. He was a hard-working man, known across the village for his dedication to farming and for raising 3 strong sons. The farmer had always dreamed of the day his sons would take over the farm, continuing the work he had begun, building upon the foundation he had laid. However, despite his efforts to raise them well, there was one issue that troubled him deeply. His sons could not get along. The 3 brothers quarreled constantly. They argued over the smallest things. Who would fetch water? Who would chop wood? Who would feed the animals? If one of them made a mistake, the others would blame and scold rather than help. Their constant fighting echoed through the valley, much to the dismay of their aging father. No matter how many times he reminded them to work together, to support each other, and to live in harmony, the lesson never seemed to stick. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills and painted the sky with orange and pink, the old farmer sat quietly beneath a tree, watching his sons bicker over who should bring in the harvest tools. He sighed deeply, realizing that mere words had not been enough to teach them the value of unity. And so, he came up with a plan. The next morning, he called his sons together and handed them a bundle of sticks. The sticks were tightly bound together with a rope, forming a thick, solid bundle. The old man looked at his sons and said, "I want each of you to try and break this bundle." The eldest son took the bundle first. He gripped it with both hands, strained, twisted, and bent it, but the bundle would not break. The second son stepped forward and tried with all his strength, but still, nothing happened. Finally, the youngest son gave it a go, grunting with effort, but the bundle remained whole and unbroken. Frustrated, they all turned to their father. "It's impossible! No one can break it!" they exclaimed. The old man said nothing. Instead, he calmly untied the rope that held the sticks together and handed each son a single stick. "Now try," he said. Without hesitation, each son easily snapped the stick in his hands. One after another, the sticks broke with little effort. The brothers looked at their father, puzzled. "My sons," the old man said gently. "Do you see? When the sticks were bound together, no one could break them. But when separated, they broke with ease. The same is true for you. As long as you fight and stand apart, you will be weak and vulnerable. But if you stand together, support each other, and act as one, no challenge will be too great. Unity gives you strength." The brothers stood in silence, realizing the truth in their father's words. They looked down at the broken sticks in their hands and then at each other. For the first time in a long while, they understood. From that day on, the 3 brothers changed. They began to listen to each other and work together without quarrel. One would fetch the water while the other chopped wood, and the third would tend the animals. They shared their meals with laughter, helped each other in times of difficulty, and protected the farm as a team. The work that once seemed overwhelming became lighter when shared. The old farmer watched them with joy, knowing his sons had finally learned the lesson he had tried to teach them all these years. Seasons passed, and the farm flourished like never before. The fields yielded abundant crops, the animals thrived, and the family grew stronger with each passing day. The village people noticed the transformation and admired the bond the 3 brothers now shared. The old farmer, now content, spent his final years in peace, surrounded by love and unity. Years later, after the old man passed away, the brothers gathered beneath the same tree where he had once given them the bundle of sticks. In their hands, they held a new bundle, tied just as before. They didn't need to test it anymore. They already knew its strength. It now served as a symbol and reminder of the lesson that had changed their lives. The story of the bundle of sticks reminds us that unity is strength. When we stand together, we are unbreakable. But when we divide ourselves over pride, ego, or petty arguments, we become weak and vulnerable, just like the sticks, easily broken one by one. So remember, whether it's family, friends, a team, or a community, when we work together, we can overcome anything. The moral of the story: unity gives us strength. Division makes us weak.